If you're looking to create, grow, and sustain your wealth, download and subscribe to the Pain Points of Wealth podcast at BeBullish.com with Bob, Ryan, and Chris Payne. It's your podcast for market insights, money tips, and real talk on the economy. Download and subscribe at BeBullish.com.
It's Another Side of Midnight.
Political humorist TJ McCormick.
Now, to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC.
Here's TJ McCormick.
All right, good morning. Hello there. It is 6 minutes after the hour here. I am TJ McCormick. This is Another Side of Midnight with TJ McCormick on the Red Apple Audio Networks all around the United States and coming to you from right here in New York City. The studios of 77 WABC. Oh, yes. And I'm shifting gears. Yes. 1-800. One 800-848-9222. 1-800-848-9222. That's the number for Another Side of Midnight. Again, from 49th and 3rd here in Midtown East in Manhattan. And again, all around the country on the Red Apple Audio Networks. Good morning and good evening over on the West Coast. And thanks for joining. It's been a week. It has been a week. It has been nonstop since, just to go what feels like ancient history, since Charlie Kirk. It has been nonstop. And, you've got these main drivers of the news with the government shutdown and Trump, just driving that peace train, about the peace train. I've been here. I've been hearing something about Trump train. Trump is bringing peace. Did you ever think? Could you ever have imagined that Trump would be on the Democrat crap list for being out there and driving the peace train? Aboard the peace train. Trump is being loving. He doesn't want no dead kids. He wants to stop the wars. Get on the Trump peace train. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, sorry. It's too early in the show for me to be doing that. We'll work our way there. But it's just been, story after story after story. It's been, don't take the Tylenol. It's been Maha. It's been peace. What's that? Not on the peace train. Tony's got his own train. The love train. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful world. This is your conductor. Your favorite conductor, Donald J. Trump. We love the train. Our train is the peace train, the love train, as opposed to Newsom's train to nowhere. There's billions of dollars wasted. We've got a beautiful train, luxury appointed, picking up people from Azerbaijan, people from Armenia. Get on the love train. Get on the love train with Donald Love Trump. We've got people from Kyiv. A lot of people. Beautiful, beautiful black women from Chicago. Beautiful black women from Chicago. All getting on the love train with me as your conductor. the golden gilded love train. We are picking up people in Israel and Gaza, although we're going to vet the people from Gaza before we let them on the train. We're not crazy. We'll have them lined up and we'll pat them down and wand them. We'll have Pistol Pete Hegseth wanding the Gazans. But the Israelis, please get right on. And before we leave Israel, we're going to ask that you please pardon our guy, Bibi. We love Bibi. It's a love train. I'm Donald J. Trump, your love conductor. Sorry, we could do that all night. It is nuts, though. And today's, talking about how, he said, okay, we're not necessarily going to let Ukraine, we're not going to give Ukraine the weapons, let them use them, because we may not go that far. We'll see. He's amazing. He is absolutely amazing. And, no love, though. No love at all last night and this affects everybody. This affects the whole universe, okay? There was no love last night in the debate. If anybody was paying attention to the New York City mayoral debate, it was really, really, it's done. It's over. It's over. It's done. I mean, I hate to be have so much finality about it, but in my estimation, it's done. It's over. The points are insurmountable. Andrew Cuomo has completely lost his fastball. He's lost his curveball. He lost his knuckle. He lost his slider. It's over. Andrew Cuomo pulled his punches. He's standing there with a straight up anti-Semite. He's standing there with a guy who has articulated over and over about globalizing the Intifada and defunding the police, calling the police racist, calling the police anti-queer, it's, you don't have to pull your punches. There's no, we're talking about a world-class thug like Andrew Cuomo. For some reason, thought he had to be like somewhat of a statesman. And this was all or nothing. And Mamdani was bad. Mamdani was not good in the debate. Last night. In the debate last night, 1-800-848-9222. 1-800-848-9222. In the debate, Mamdani was terrible. He was 2 nights ago. What the heck? What am I talking about? It wasn't last night. It was Thursday night. And he was off balance. He was defensive. Mamdani was irritated. He's already ready to be a socialist mayor. He's already prepared to be a communist leader because he already believes he's above the fray. That they would have the temerity to ask him, questions. He already has that derisive attitude towards the world. And he masks it. I'm very proud of the fact that this show and a few others here at 77 WABC, the largest, the best, the greatest in all the land, were way out in front of a lot of people. And certainly this program, really happy and proud of the fact that we were talking about that goofy smile. That goofy smile has popped up in a few editorials in the last week and a half. It's been on a couple of the conservative networks the last week and a half. People talking about that smile. People have caught on to it. We were way ahead of the curve on that. That overly squinty, puckery kind of smile. That just gratuitous, you know what I mean? If his smile could make a noise, it would be, right? And anyway, so Mamdani was flashing that faux smile and flashing that acidic, acerbic, resentment towards the media, towards his opponents, and to the people of New York City, including the people that he would oversee, like the NYPD. And so Zoran was bad. Andrew was worse. I love Curtis. I'm grateful that the numbers mean that I can just focus on Andrew and Zoran. I'm glad that that's the numbers, because this way I can just stick to those top two. Andrew absolutely blew it. He blanked the bed. He blanked the bed. When you're going after an anti-Semite, when you're going after a globalized intifada, when you're going after like a 38-year-old who's referring to his tweets as, old tweets, they were 5 years ago. If anything, he has devolved as a human being. He has devolved as as an elected official. He has devolved from then in the ensuing 5 years. So you've got him right there, Andrew. You're the thug of all thugs. You're Mr. Glare. I've done battle with Andrew Cuomo and his people in a governor's race about 9 years ago now. I was on a campaign team led by Congressman Mike Lawler. And I did battle. I went literally nose to nose with Andrew Cuomo at one point at a book signing. I was a guerrilla specialist, not in the zoo context, but as in warfare. I was a hired gun. And I was out there to light fires, if you will, and go for him and knock him down, because it's what you do when you're an underfunded campaign. And I found myself face to face with Andrew Cuomo, and he got to know what I look like. And it got to the point where Andrew Cuomo would find me in a crowd with his eyes, his black eyes, like doll's eyes. Farewell and adieu to your fair Spanish maid. You see, this guy, he is the thug of all thugs. He's a badass, tough guy when he wants to try to be. He'll do that when he's glaring you down at a book signing. He'll be all tough when he gets off the tour bus and you're asking, why didn't you have the, so-and-so resign? And he'll glare at you like he wants to put you 6 feet under. But he's standing there. I mean, the easiest target of all time. It's fish in a barrel. Fish in a barrel. Anti-Semitic fish in a barrel. Socialist, communist, Marxist fish in a barrel. And Andrew does an ole! Ole! Go ahead, lay him out. Lay him out with the Jewish thing. Lay him out with the You gotta, listen, Andrew Cuomo, rather than say, you don't think that, he says, you don't believe that Israel has the right to exist. You don't believe that Israel has the right to exist. I do believe that as a Jewish state. Okay, great. You got the technical stuff. Andrew, what Andrew needs to say is, you have no problem with Jewish people being murdered. He talks about the genocide in Gaza, and he don't talk about, boy, my grammar's right out the window. You can tell I'm exorcised. He don't talk about. Andrew Cuomo needed to hit him right between his beady eyes and his smirky smile. He needed to hit him with anti-Semite, radical, free buses, killing the financial sector, destroying the free market in New York City. He needed to just over and over and over. Dead Jewish people, police are racist, police are anti-queer, all of that. Hit him over and over and over. The body rock. Hit him at a body rock. Hit him. You know? And he didn't. He stood there and figured that his gravitas and his experience, Andrew did, he thought it would carry him and make him elevate over the young punk Marxist. But it didn't. Mamdani was not good. Andrew Cuomo was worse. And so here's also part of the problem. Can we once and for all, finally, and this is certainly universal, because everybody in California, anybody all around the country where you've got your governor's races and you've got your attorney general races in your states, all around the country, we have got to once and for all just scrap this obnoxious debate format. We have got to scrap the obnoxious debate format where they have, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 9. They service all of the different branches of the media companies. I mean, would they have 3 last night? Or 2 nights ago? 3 moderators, uneven, some fact-checking, others not, some being kind to all the participants and some being argumentative. But here's the real thing. They're more concerned, those moderators are more concerned about, Mr. Sliwa, please, Mr. Sliwa, you've had your time, Mr. Sliwa, Mr. Cuomo, please, we will get back to you. Mr. Cuomo, please answer the question. That is not the question. Mr. Cuomo, please, Mr. Mamdani, you've had your time, Mr. Mamdani, we will bring this back. You will have your chance to rebut. Let it breathe. As the brilliant Rita Cosby was, we were chatting after her show and she put it perfectly. Let it breathe. Stop. At some point, these dopey, awful debate moderators decided that they were going to stake their ground and they were going to be the cops and they were going to get in the way and they were going to not let people go over their time. Knock down the number of questions. Give me like 7 great questions over the course of an hour and let these people go at it. Let them exhaust these issues. Stop giving us every little nuanced angle of an issue. Give me like 6 or 7 boffo sacco questions over the course of an hour and rock and roll. That would be fantastic. All right, gang, got to take a quick break here. I'm catching up with the new format. So before I plow right through, let's do a break right here. 1-800-848-9222. 1-800-848-9222. It's another side of midnight with me, TJ McCormick, all around the country on the Red Apple Audio Networks. We'll be right back.
All night long. This is another side of midnight
with TJ McCormick.
77 WABC. It's another side of midnight.
Political humorist TJ McCormick.
Now to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC.
Here's TJ McCormick.
Another side of midnight with TJ here on the Red Apple Audio Networks, coming to you from New York City. And 1-800-848-9222, 1-800-848-9222. Talking about the New York City mayor's race, but it really is a universal subject. These we saw what Katie Porter, and that was a wonderful news cycle. that Katie Porter out there is absolutely vile and gross and disgusting. She's just a disgusting human being. She has no business being a public servant. She has that one with the get out of my blanking shot. You're in my shot. And that's how she operates. That was her doing a Zoom from her own home. And that was, by the way, on a Zoom. That was a live camera where she was talking to, we all saw the clips, where she was talking to Jennifer Granholm, who at the time was Biden's energy secretary. So that means that she was dressing down that staffer in front of, other government officials. Like just right, it might as well have been in the public square. Absolutely disgusting. And, and so, we need to demand better. And yes, look what Trump said today. What did Trump say today? You don't want to F around the United States. Okay. Some cursing moments are cooler than others. It is kind of cool when somebody says you don't want to F around with the United States. I dig that. And I dig it when Trump says it. I have a double standard. I am absolutely double standard. Absolutely. I admit it. And so talking more about Zohran Mamdani, show me the company that you keep, right? Show me show me your friends and I'll determine what kind of human being you are, right? We'll get to John in a moment. By the way, John, I see you sitting there. A campaign staffer this is from Elise Stefanik, likely Republican nominee for governor in New York. A campaign is from her Twitter. And, by the way, everybody over there on Twitter at TJ McCormick, Marianne, thank you for being there. And Catherine, awesome that you're there. Thank you. And Marianne chimed in. This is great stuff. Mamdani is so fake, smiles like a Cheshire cat, and his word salad is extremely polished. He was really well prepared. There's nothing real or authentic about him. When he opens his mouth, he's lying. Yeah, he's lying. If he's talking, he's lying. If he's explaining, he's losing, but he's not losing. He's about to become mayor. We're about to have like a 38-year-old. What is he? 38? We're about to have an unaccomplished anti-Semitic mayor of New York City. It's going to happen right now. It's going to be a couple of months. And, Catherine says, Mamdani is disdainful. His attitude is reminiscent of Obama. Obama was one dismissive son of a gun, wasn't he? He was one dismissive son of a gun. And Catherine liked she liked the musical selection too. So thank you, Tony. So Elise Stefanik, a campaign staffer for Zohran Mamdani, was apparently caught on hidden camera admitting who gives a blank what police officers think of the Democratic mayoral nominee. This is what Zohran Mamdani staffer had to say about New York City public employees.
What did the police think about Zohran? Because I know that's like a little contentious.
This is what they think. You're a city employee. You get told what to do. Shut up. When did you get an opinion?
You hear that? That's it. That's it. That I can tell you, I have been on government staff. I've been a communications guy for elected officials and for campaigns. And I only work for people that I am aligned with, that I believe in. Once in a while, I've taken a couple of bucks for people that didn't have a shot, but I believed in them. I tell you, everybody on a campaign is rowing in the same direction as the principal, as the candidate. They are all beholden and betrothed and beguiled and bejeweled and bedextrous. They're all in and rowing in the same direction as the candidate. I promise you, what that staffer just said is exactly how Zohran Mamdani, how a Mayor Mamdani will view police, sanitation, health workers, school teachers. He sees everyone as beholden to him. And how dare you fill in the blank? How dare you? That's going to be Zohran Mamdani. And so, again, I want to see a total wholesale change to how we do these dopey debates, how we do these obnoxious debates with these dopey moderators who can't get out of their own way. All they want to do is be the clock police. It's really obnoxious with, and they're all trying to be so clever with their cool questions and their multiple stage inquiry. Give me 6 or 7 questions over an hour. 6 or 7 questions and let them hash out the most important issues. Let's see who these idiots are. 1-800-848-9222. 1-800-848-9222. John in the Bronx. Good morning.
Good morning, TJ.
Hey.
So, a couple of things.
Yes.
One, I call them the Democrats. Like everything they do is like totally opposite of humanity. Mm-hmm. You want to kill babies. You want prostitution. Mm-hmm. Everybody using drugs. Is this totally opposite of what is good? Yeah. And they're
on the side of the angels, John. They're on the side of the angels. Somehow those
fallen angels.
Fallen angels, exactly. What is it? What is it? You know what, man? You know what? When you kick this stuff around long enough, right, John, and you talk about this stuff over and over and over, you listen to it on talk radio, you talk about it on talk radio at the dinner table, at the diner, you talk about it with your buddies and your friends. And eventually you start to realize that some of these cliches and some of these old sayings are actually true, right? Like when people talk about liberalism being a mental disorder. When you look at it through a certain lens over a long enough period of time, it starts to actually really appear that way, doesn't it? These people are completely blind to how evil their positions are, right?
Could be possessed, for real. No joke. No jokes about that, because to go, Charlie Kirk, to just go murder somebody for a speech. Yep. That's pure evil. Yeah. And in front of kids, on top of that.
Yep. In front of his kids. In front of his kids.
And his kids too.
And his wife and the whole world. That was a message, buddy. Yeah, go ahead.
People laughing at somebody dying or murder. And I even see news reporters, they smirking when they're reporting this. I'm like, is everybody going mad?
Yeah.
Okay, so either these people are mindless, voting for Mamdani. Democrat, just because he's a Democrat, I'm going to vote for him.
Right.
But if you had any morals, any just a little drop of good in you, if you know what he stands for, because it's out there, everybody knows.
Right.
Why is he leading in the polls? I don't understand.
He's leading in the polls because the math is bad, because New York is so far left Democratic. There's just millions more Democrats in New York City. And that's it. I mean, it's bad math, dude. It's bad math.
I used to be a Democrat. I'm a Republican now. I used to be a Democrat. And I changed my views.
I'm sorry.
I was just, my parents was. But then I started started getting into politics and listening to what people are saying. I was like, how can you vote for somebody that was, abortion, killing babies? I heard one girl talk about she's on her 8th abortion. I was like, these things, nothing matters to them.
You know what? Actually, John, let me ask you something. Because I tried to pay attention to the entire debate last night, and I definitely had to look away a couple of times. Did they cover the prostitution? Did they ask about prostitution?
Yeah, Curtis brought it up.
But none of the moderators brought it up. So in this day and age,
also Cuomo brought it up too. But check this out. So Mamdani, what he said was, "Oh, no, I don't want to legalize it, but I don't want to prosecute them." So it's legal then, right?
Exactly. Hey, you know what? And that's the thing. And we've been ahead of the curve on this subject too, because again, he doesn't want to legalize it and make it like the state of Nevada. You go out to Nevada where prostitution is legal. It's illegal in casinos. They can't walk on the streets, but you can go out to the middle of the desert. You can go to the, you can go to the trailers and to the bunny ranch, and you can go to those places, and the women have, it's like the Netherlands. It's like Amsterdam. They have, I definitely sound like I know too much about this, but, which is exactly what Tony was going to say, but they have healthcare plans and they're looked after and there's HIV prevention. There's all this stuff.
Doesn't make it right.
No. But my point is, not only would that not make it right, what makes Mamdani so vile is, like you said, he just wants to decriminalize it. This guy's not looking after women. This is and you can put this right up there with men and women's sports. This is another leftist Democrat, initiative policy that is going to, victimize women, young women, because he's going to decriminalize human trafficking. He's going to decriminalize dirty old men on top of, violated young girls on dirty mattresses in Jackson Heights.
And kidnapping them, forcing them into prostitution.
It's terrible. It's disgusting. And Mamdani and if those, and now it's killing me, John, that the moderators, it took Curtis and Andrew to bring it up, that the moderators, 2 women moderating that dopey, debate the other night. And neither of those women brought up the human trafficking aspects of this guy's future administration. John, thank you for calling, buddy. I do appreciate it, man. Make sure you're not a stranger. Keep calling in. You made very good points. I'm grateful for that. Lou in Long Island. Lou, good morning. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. I was a diehard liberal up until about the age of 24 when I was mugged at gunpoint on my soda route at 10 o'clock in the morning by like 2 12, 13-year-old kids.
Oh, my God.
My view of the world changed.
That makes sense. So tell me, what were your ideals until what was the time frame on this? What year?
It was about 1982, I'd say. Yeah.
All right.
Around
So
81, 82.
So we were still in.
I grew up in the 70s.
Uh-huh.
I was peace, love, no war, the whole deal,
And so this was still gritty New York, which people, even like myself, there's a certain affection for, the old New York, or, the backdrop of Times Square.
Well,
yeah.
So. Well, no, this was in Queens,
New
York.
Yeah, I get it. But I'm just saying is that,
those areas. Yeah, there was a time when, it was, Times Square was not Disneyland.
No, I know. It was Murderville. It was crazy. So tell me, Lou, what were some of your ideals besides, I guess, law enforcement and crime and punishment? What were some other things that changed for you going from a diehard liberal? What did you believe in when you were still a diehard liberal?
Like I said, peace, love, and happiness. I grew up and I was a wannabe hippie. I missed the 60s by a couple of years, but in the 70s, I still held those ideals.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't we just all get along,
Right.
And then, it changed my mind earlier when I turned 19 and got my first full-time real job.
Uh-huh.
And I saw the taxes got taken out. And then I'm delivering, soda and 10 o'clock in the morning, and I see guys my age hanging out drinking beer and not working,
Right. Yeah.
So,
and
it's like if I...
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Like that just kind of jaded me about, everybody should do just what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, you got to make your way in the world.
Yeah. And and I tell you what, this guy who's about to become our mayor has not made his way in the world. He's an assemblyman, New York assemblyman, something that, we've had a couple of regular friends of the show, New York assemblyman Matt Slater. He's a Republican up in Albany, or serves in Albany. He's from Westchester. And also, Mike Lawler, our friend, mine, but our Republican Congressman Mike Lawler.
Yes,
they
he's
both.
A true patriot.
Oh yes, and both of these guys served with Mamdani in the assembly. Do you know Mamdani passed as an assemblyman? I think in 2 terms, he's passed one bill. He's passed one bill. Passed it. I don't know if it became a law. He passed one bill in 4 years and change as a New York State assemblyman. He has no record. The one actual job he's had, he's got no record of doing anything substantial at all.
I know. You know, it just seems to be too much scripted from, you know, I hate to say conspiracy in the
this guy's yeah. There's somebody behind him.
AOC, it's like they're at a central casting.
Lou, there's somebody behind this guy. There's somebody that they went and they said, we need a Muslim. Yeah. Somebody's behind this piece of work. It's disgusting.
Yeah, you just don't come out of, like, say, an assemblyman at 33 years old, no background, like you say, no bills passed, no experience, and he's the head runner.
Yeah. Against
just boggles my mind.
Against a former governor and a real professional politician.
Doesn't deserve a shot anyhow.
I know, I agree. And you know, one of the greatest sons of New York City. Again, I've said this before. If there was a New York City Mount Rushmore, I'm putting Curtis Sliwa on that Mount Rushmore. And you know, we asked this question a long time ago. Who goes on, anybody listen, 1-800-848-9222. I love this question. Who goes on your New York City, Mount Rushmore? Lou, who goes on you already said Curtis. Give me one other person for your New York City Mount Rushmore.
Like I said, when I had my turning point and became a conservative Republican, I'd say Pataki.
Oh, all right.
And Giuliani.
All right. Okay. I like that.
I mean, that's the top 3.
How about sports? Give me a sports one.
I'm not a big sports guy.
No?
I'm a motorhead.
You're a motorhead. I like that. That's cool. What cars, motorcycles?
Both, yes.
Nice.
Oldsmobile primarily. Big blocks.
Yeah.
5 miles to the gallon.
Yeah,
okay.
Wow.
What can I say? I'm not an eco warrior.
You're no eco warrior. You have made a full 180 in the other direction. Hey, listen, Lou, thank you so much for calling in. I really love talking to you. Very, very cool. 1-800-848-9222. All right, gang. So we're going to take our quarter of the hour break. And when we come back, more phones, 1-800-848-9222. It's Another Side of Midnight with me, TJ McCormick, on the Red Apple Audio Networks.
All night long, this is Another Side of Midnight
with TJ McCormick.
77 WABC. It's Another Side of Midnight.
Political humorist TJ McCormick.
Now, to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC.
Here's TJ McCormick.
Good morning, gang. It's 50 minutes past the hour. 10 minutes. I did my own math right there. I did my own math. Until the top of the hour. And, good morning, gang. It's Another Side of Midnight with me, TJ McCormick, 1-800-848-9222. 1-800-848-9222. And we're talking about a couple of things. It's been a busy couple of weeks, busy month. It was last week. When we were on the air, it had been a month since Charlie Kirk was taken from us, and that marked a month of no violence, no looting, no fires, no blocking of traffic, no blockading of students in libraries, or no. You know what my daughter did this week? My daughter is the founder of a Turning Point chapter at her high school. And they did, apparently one of Charlie's favorite foods was pancakes. Loved pancakes. And so my daughter went out, spent $100 of her own money, babysitting money, dance teaching money, $100 of her own dough on everything she needed to make pancakes for like it's called Stars and Stripes, her club, for her Turning Point group at her high school on Wednesday. They did a Charlie Kirk pancake lunch in honor of Charlie Kirk's birthday, because his birthday, I think, was Tuesday. See, that's what we do. The other side harasses Jewish students, chants anti-Semitic chants. They wear the keffiyehs. By the way, tomorrow, no King's Day. No King's Day. There's going to be no King's protests. Today. Oh, wow. That's right. It's Saturday. It's today. It's not Sunday. It's today. Later today, a bunch of no King's protests all around the country. And they're going to, I don't know how many keffiyehs are going to be with, those Palestinian scarves, which I am very keen to identify accurately as modern day swastikas. There is zero difference between a keffiyeh, that black and white checked houndstooth scarf, and a swastika. That keffiyeh, that scarf says the same thing. It says from the river to the sea. Which for me, same thing as from the boxcar, from the train car to the showers. That's what globalized the Intifada. That's Zohran Mamdani. And so no burning buildings, no broken glass, no Kristallnacht, no looted goods, no blocked bridges. Just, prayer. A lot more people going to church. A lot more young people going to church in the wake of Charlie Kirk. And, some teenagers making pancakes for other teenagers to remember their patriot. How's that? I'll take the side of the pancakes anytime. Anytime. You can have your legalized prostitution. Your decriminalized prostitution. You can have that side that says, dirty old men, line right up. We've got some trafficked 22-year-old Guatemalan girls. You're all ready for you right here in Jackson Heights. Right here. Right here in Midtown. Come on in. Come on into the spa. Come on into Mamdani's spa and enjoy some trafficked gals. Welcome. This is New York City. Smirky smile. Smirky smile. Zohran Mamdani. He thinks that women should be bounced upon. Trafficked women, marginalized women. That's who he wants to see trafficked. That's what his policy is going to do. Decriminalize it. Yeah. So anyway, it was very uplifting to see my baby do that for her with her fellow students. And, 1-800-848-9222. So we're talking about, the mayoral debate. We're talking about debates in general. What would you do differently with these debates? I'm yapping about what I would do different. How would you change the debate process? Are you sick and tired of just these men and women being cut off at like 60 seconds? Is 60 seconds, where did this even come from? Let them go. As our brilliant Rita Cosby said, let them breathe. Let it breathe. Let the conversation ensue. Let it flow. These moderators fall over each other. They're like fighting for the mic. Mr. Mamdani, sorry, your time is up, Mr. Mamdani. The microphone here. Mr. Mamdani. You know, the only thing missing is, whoop, whoop, whoop. So, yeah, I'm dying to know what you would do to change the thing. Dirty Red in New Jersey, line 1. Bring us to the top of the hour here. Dirty Red, good morning. Thanks for calling in.
Hey, TJ, I love your show. I wish you were on Monday to Friday.
Thank you. You're very kind. Thank you, pal.
Mount Rushmore, New York, George Steinbrenner and Mark Messier.
Boom.
Cutback.
Boom. Love that. Love that. Yes.
Okay, real quick, because I know it's the top of the hour. The Cuomo brothers, they are so disgusting, those two. Mm-hmm. Even the brother, when he was on CNN, spouting his liberal and all that garbage. Mm-hmm. There's nothing worse than the Baldwin brothers. But anyway, I don't know who's worse. But real quick, I think the Adams guy should have stayed in the race. The other two clowns should have bowed out. He would have beat Mandami, even though he had his own baggage. They all got it. I think Adams, with his articulating talking, he would have threw that guy under the bus with the people.
He would have knocked him out. You're right.
You have a good night.
You too. Thank you, Dirty Red. Thank you, buddy. Loving Dirty Red. I love when you guys bring it. How would you change the debate format? 1-800-848. And by the way, if you're, I'd love to know, because now we are around the country on the Red Apple Audio Networks. I'd love to hear from y'all around the country. Pick up the phone and 1-800-848-9222. I think a great universal conversation would be about how would you change debate formats in general? Don't you think it's too tight with the timing? Don't you think these moderators are they just try to be the time cops? And, and with the fact checking, we're smart enough. We know when these idiots are lying. We know when they're lying. So I say, let them go. 6-7 questions for an hour. Bam. Let these topics go for 10 minutes. Let them go back and forth. Ring-a-ding-ding. All right, we're at the top of the hour. When we come back, I'm going to tell you about an incident I had on the highway the other day. Had an unfortunate accident-ish. I'll tell you about it. But more importantly than what happened, I'll tell you about the jerk that I had to deal with.
It's Another Side of Midnight. 77 WABC. This is Another Side of Midnight
with TJ McCormack.
Now to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC.
Here's TJ McCormack.
Good morning. It's hour 2. It's 7 minutes past the hour here on Another Side of Midnight. I'm TJ McCormick, and this is the Red Apple Audio Networks all around the United States of America, around the world on WABCRadio.com. 1-800-848-9222. 1-800-848-9222. Talking about a bunch of things. So I had a funky situation the other day. So I'm on the highway, here in New York. I'm in the middle of Westchester County. Is a major 3-lane highway, 684, Interstate 684. If it was California, we'd call it the 684. Out there, you got the 10, the 5. Here we have 95. It's a thing. And when you live in LA, you love doing that. When you live in California, you love saying the 405 because it's just so different when you grow up here. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm on the 684 and I'm going north. I'm headed home from a day in Manhattan, and did a little TV, came in here to the station to shoot a promo video for the new syndicated show here around the country now. So I'm on my way up and I'm listening to Oasis. I'm blasting Oasis. And by the way, I'm in a rut. I'm in an identity rut. If you go to, at TJ McCormick and you check out my Twitter video, this is like the second week in a row where I'm in a Liam Gallagher mode. I'm wearing these anoraks. I'm in a phase. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm in a phase right now. I'm sure the boys have noticed that I'm not wearing a jacket and tie like I used to. I'm in kind of a Liam Gallagher mode. Couple of reasons. We went and saw Oasis about a month and change ago. My wife has made regular comments about how sexy and hot and cool Liam Gallagher is. So what do? I go onto these discount sites and I start buying Liam Gallagher type clothes. I haven't adopted a Manchester accent. I'm not wearing sunglasses inside. I'm not doing that. I'm not acting cool. I'm not pretending to be Liam Gallagher. I gotta say though, the anoraks are very universal. They're very, very, they're easily worn. It's a thing. I dig it. I like how they look and I can keep the temperature. I can keep the air conditioning. Anyway, I'm on the highway listening to Oasis and I'm driving nice and quick. I'm in the left lane, moving quick, just a little above the speed limit. And there's a notice. I'm with the flow of traffic. All of a sudden, Waze tells me object in road. Right? Hazard in road. So, boom, slow down. I slow down. Because when it's pothole season, I keep a lot of distance between me and that car in front of me and to the left and the right of me in case I got to make a move. I want to hit those damn potholes. And when I know that there's a hazard in the road, boom, once again, way slow down, keep a lot of distance so that I can see what's in the road and I can dodge it. I just put 4 new tires on my damn car. I don't want any issues. So I put the brakes on, I slow down, and sure enough, I see rubber everywhere. There's tire fragments big, fat tire fragments all over the road. Cars are swerving. And it's definitely fresh, definitely new. And I slow down and I see up ahead of me, I see mud flaps. Clearly it was a truck that blew a tire. I see a mud flap in one lane. I slow down. Another car goes doesn't avoid the mud flap, goes over the mud flap, rockets that mud flap right onto now, thank goodness I was not too far or too close. I was just the right distance where this mud flap was rocketed onto the nose of my car. My very white guy, white Volvo sedan. Thing lodges onto the nose of my car. If we were in England, the bonnet. If we were in LA, on the 684. And this thing lodges on the front of my car. And again, if I was any further away, this thing would have been kicked up higher and it would have I would have been on my windshield. And then we would have bad comedy movie, right? Oh, right. Where am I going? So this thing, thump, right on the nose of my car. So now I got to get over. I got to get this thing off the front of my car, right? So I make my way over 3 lanes of traffic, carefully as I can, and I find myself a safe spot on the shoulder. As I slow down, because you got to slow down to come to a stop, right? Okay. As I slow down, the mud flap dislodges, goes under my tire. I don't think anything happened in the undercarriage. I think we're good. But I pull out. Now, as I'm finding that safe spot, I see the truck. I see the truck that has exploded because it's minus a tire and it's all shredded on the side of the road. He's on the shoulder. I go past him, find my spot on the shoulder. Tony in Williamsburg, stay right there. I'm going to talk to you. I find my safe spot. I get out of my car. I look. This thing did some damage to my car. Did some damage to my car. And I was irritated. I was annoyed right away. I'm like, oh, gotta do stuff now. Now I gotta do stuff. I got daughters. I got a wife. I got a radio show. I gotta do stuff now. I gotta get insurance on the phone. If I'm Liam Gallagher, I've got to get insurance on the phone. And, so while I'm standing there, cars flying by, I'm looking at the damn, all of a sudden I see the truck that had blown the tire go past me with the jacked up tire. He's back on the road, this guy. He's back on the road. Now, again, it's a massive dump truck. Massive. It's huge, state of the art. Like, it's built like a tractor trailer, but it's just a massive dump truck. You know what I mean? This thing is gargantuan. And it's got the dual rear tires, right? And if anybody can be an expert for me and call up 1-800-848-9222, we talk about that. Those 4 rear tires, he blew one. Now he's back on the road and he is spreading more rubber like fertilizer with a lawn doctor thing. Like farm equipment. He's spraying more rubber. So he gets off the shoulder. Now he's on. I get back in my car. Now I see. So I want to get the phone. I want to get the license plate. I want to get the phone number. I want to get the name of the company. So I catch up. I'm feeling the lack of. I'm feeling the difference in my aerodynamics. I could feel the drag. It was annoying. I catch up. I get the license plate. I get the phone number. I get the name of the company and the phone number. I call up. I'm on the phone with my buddy Bill. My buddy Billy I give him the name of the company. He texts me the phone number. I call up from my car. I call up because this guy is back on the highway And I'm thinking he should have waited for a tow, right? Put this thing on a flatbed or do whatever they do. Not a flatbed. You couldn't put this thing on a flatbed. But you got to tow this thing, right? You can't put this car. I mean, yeah, it can move because it's got the 4 rear tires. All right. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I'll tell you about my conversation with the thug who owns this company. I'm going to tell you about my conversation with this guy, how it went. When we come back, 1-800-848-9222. We're going to talk to Tony in Williamsburg about the mayor's debate, and I'm going to talk to you if you can relate to this story. And tell me, by the way, am I wrong? Should this big, massive dump truck have been back on the road with 3 rear tires instead of 4, with one of them blown and spreading rubber everywhere like shrapnel? He already did enough damage. Now he's out there spreading the love. 1-800-848-9222. It's Another Side of Midnight with me, TJ McCormick, on the Red Apple Audio Networks.
All night long, this is Another Side of Midnight
with TJ McCormick.
77 WABC. It's Another Side of Midnight.
Political humorist TJ McCormick.
Now, to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC.
Here's TJ McCormick.
There it is, 21 minutes past the hour on Another Side of Midnight with me, TJ McCormick, on Red Apple Audio Networks all around the United States. We're broadcasting from Midtown East in Manhattan, 1-800-848-9222, 1-800-848-9222. So, talking about this thing, I took a mud flap to the nose of my car. This big old truck had blown its tires. A tire gets back on the highway. I catch up with the truck. I get the name of it. So I call up. Now, if you go right now to at TJ McCormick, you see, now granted, I'm in a very cool Liam Gallagher kind of manner, but I look like you imagine I look like. You don't imagine, I am little, and you know that. I sometimes sound like a girl, and I know that. Usually, I tell you what, when I call, cough button, I got a cough button. When I call customer service, they always think I'm a woman. Always. Yes, ma'am, we understand the problem. I'm like, no, I'm a sir. But it's because when I'm talking in a high stressful moment, I think I must go up here and I must sound like a woman on the phone. I don't know. But I look pretty much what you imagine I would look like. I'm a little guy, short haircut, little guy. I'm Greg Gutfeld. Like, same thing. Me and Greg, same thing. Greg and I. So anyway, I'm this little guy, right? And I'm calling from my little Volvo. I'm calling from my little white guy, white Volvo. Okay. And I'm driving along and, call that number. And it rings and it rings and it rings. Yeah, okay. So I get a voicemail. It says, the person you are calling, here it is. The person you are calling Anthony is not available. Please leave a message. Okay. So I say, hi, hello, Anthony. Anthony, my name is TJ McCormick. I give my first and last name. Like I'm calling about, hi, I'm making an inquiry. Where are my Girl Scout cookies? I ordered trefoils and I'm wondering where they. So hi, this is TJ McCormick. Your truck just unloaded a tire onto the 684, and it blew a mud flap, and so I just wanted to just if you could call me back. So call back about an hour later. I'm giving the guy some time to breathe. I'm thinking, here I am, realizing that Anthony is very, very busy because his truck, right? He's handling his truck thing. And I'm imagining Anthony is, large, formerly muscular. Now there's a couple of layers of fat over the muscles. Still a big guy. Could throw me through a window. Clearly, just by the Anthony. All right. So, and he runs a truck company that has massive trucks. You don't look like me. You know what? Okay. When you look like me, you drive little Volvo, you have daughters, and you vacuum because you think you do it better than your wife. When you're Anthony and you run a massive truck, you don't look like me. You look like Anthony. So I call back. I get nothing. The next day, now again, I figured, well, let it breathe. Let me let this let me let Anthony have a night to just get this all squared away. And I'm sure he just wants to have a nice dinner and settle down. What's his wife's name?
Gina.
Okay. So I want, Anthony's going to settle down, have a nice night with Gina. And that's it. Okay. So the next day. It rings. It finally rings. Hello. I said, yeah. Hi. Anthony.
Well, who? What? Well, what? Who? Wait.
It's Anthony. Anthony. Hi. This is TJ McCormick. I called you yesterday.
Yeah. I can't effing hear you. I can't effing hear you.
So right off the bat, I get an effing. Within 14 seconds of starting this phone call, I get an effing that he can't effing hear me. I can't effing hear you. So he clicks over
and he's like, you're what?
I said, yeah, hi, Anthony. I said, listen, I said, I called you yesterday. I said, this is the situation. Your truck blew a tire and he goes,
yeah, you know what? You call the cops. Okay. Call the cops. Cause you know what? That's road hazard. It's road hazard and it's not my problem. Okay. It's not my problem. As soon as that leaves my truck, it's beyond me, and you can call the cops. You can ask them. You can ask them about the road hazard.
I said, you know what? I understand. I understand that it's road. I said, I kind of figured that out, Anthony. I said, please, just hold on a second. Because you know what I thought? Do you know what I thought? I thought maybe perhaps this guy might get a call from a dude who was just minding his own damn business on the 684. And the guy, me, calls him up and says, hey, my car caught the bad end of your blowout. And maybe the guy whose big truck blew out, and this guy is rolling in cash. This guy deals in cash, lives with cash, rolls with cash, takes payments. This guy sleeps on a mattress of cash, not just a mattress with cash under it. This guy sleeps in a mattress stuffed with cash. He eats cash for breakfast, and yes, he probably cleans up in the bathroom with cash. Cash. I thought for a minute that if I called a dude, and I didn't even say they'll give me money. I did whatever. I got my insurance. We're doing it with the insurance. This guy, I thought maybe there was a chance that this guy would talk to me and go and say, you know what? Yeah. Wow, that stinks. What's your deductible? Let me at least cover your deductible. You know what? And I would tell him $500. Okay. You know what? $500. I'm going to take care of your deductible. $500. Give me your address. I'm going to bang your check. I'm not going to cover the whole thing because it is road hazard, but geez, that was my truck. I'm sorry, buddy. You were just living life, huh? You know why I thought that? Because that's what I would do. That's what I would do. That's probably what you would do. Wherever you are, you would probably do that. But
Anthony says, not my problem. He goes, you want to call the cops? Call the cops. Because you know what? It's road hazard. It's not my problem. And you can just go.
I said, but you know what? I said, but here's the other thing, Anthony. I said, let me just one last thing. He goes, wow. I said, why did your guy get back on the highway?
And he goes, what's he supposed to do?
I said, Anthony, I was pulled over on the side of the road checking my car. I said, if my car was not safe to go, I would have been stuck there on the side of the highway. Luckily, my car was not rendered. You know, I'm thinking, does he get the word rendered? Was not rendered undrivable. I said, but your truck, he goes, it has four tires, got the dual blah, blah, blahs, got the dual axle Hemi double doubles, and it's got a date so he can roll. I said, no. I said, no. I said, it was spraying more rubber. He goes, what's he supposed to do? What? I said, he's supposed to wait for a tow. I said, I'll tell you what he's not supposed to do, Anthony, is get back on the highway. He goes, F you, and you don't know what you're talking about, and F you, and blah, 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 blah. Click. Anthony did to me what Andrew Cuomo should have done. Sorry about that whistle. What Andrew Cuomo should have done to Zohran Mamdani. Andrew Cuomo should have been like, you are an anti-Semite, and don't you deny it, Zohran. Don't you deny it. You want to decriminalize prostitution. At least I go about my stuff the old-fashioned way. I grab and I kiss and I smooch at weddings. 1-800-848-9222. 1-800-848-9222. And let's see, we got Bill on line 3. Bill on line 3. In Bay Ridge. Bill on Tree in Bay Ridge.
How you doing?
Hey, hi, buddy. How you doing, man? So, you got some insight into this?
Yeah, a little bit. You see that guy? He should have never moved that truck. If he was spitting rubber,
right?
There's a reason why that truck has the 4 tires in the end. I have friends in the trucking company or whatever. Mm-hmm. Now he's got an unbalanced load.
Yes.
If he was spitting rubber, that's why he was doing it. That truck now is not safe to be driven any further. He should have pulled over,
right?
Had his people come, tow the truck,
right,
and get it out. He could have caused more damage to other people on that thing. And like I said, this guy's got money.
Yep.
He could have took your insurance, your deductible, paid it off, no problem.
Yeah.
There you go. Right. Have a nice day. But this guy is a bombolini. He's a jerk-off.
He's a bombolini. He's a bombolini. Oh, Bill, you gave me a new word. I'm writing that in big, bold letters with my Sharpie. A bombolini. He really was, man. You know, and I mean, I didn't expect anything different than what he gave me, but I was hoping for something to, and not that, I mean, and yeah, it would take the sting out of this. It really sucks that I gotta cough up, $500. I mean, granted, it's a blessing that I got insurance and I can get this thing fixed, and it's going to be expensive, but it's going to cost me $5. But yeah, if it was me, Bill, and I bet you if it was you, because the way you just described it, if it was you and you got a call from somebody, you'd be like,
I lost my mind.
That your guy got that. Well, you know what? Anthony owns this company. You know, Anthony's the one who gave this guy the directive to get back on the road.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Right? He told me, you bring that thing home.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, that thing's, yep.
He wants to get it out of the scene of the crime before somebody catches on to what he's doing.
Yep.
But like I said, now that becomes a major hazard because that's an unstable balance, an unstable load.
There you go.
He could cause more.
And I'm telling you, as that truck drove by me, it was certainly spitting out more rubber. And now you explained, and it was certainly unbalanced, and that thing could have tipped, it could have blown up. Bill, thank you so much, Pally. I'm grateful. Bombolini. Thank you, Pally. Let's get over to JR in Connecticut. JR, good morning.
Hi, good morning. I'd like to tell you the first piece of advice for this situation is I've had a car hit my driveway. It looked like a snowplow, and I didn't know who did it. So the best thing to do is to make a police report, and then they can handle it, whether it's an uninsured driver or if you have their information. That's the best thing to do, because if you don't make a police report, you don't have a leg to stand on.
And you know what?
Go ahead.
Sorry.
You're probably better not dealing with any trucking company people, because some of them are, I'll say it, drug addicts. They're shooting heroin and driving the truck, and they just want to get out of there before the police show up. You're lucky they don't assault you.
Well, I tell you what, there's no doubt this guy, was certainly, a thuggish kind of character. But I tell you, JR, I'm going to admit this too. And so hopefully everybody will learn a lesson from me. I didn't file a police report. Shame on me. Look, I know, Anthony. I know. I'm sorry. I did. Well, I went to the cops the next day. I did go to the state troopers the next day. A lawyer buddy of mine said, go to them, tell them you were shaken up, which I kind of was. I just wanted to get home. But they said, tell them you were shaken up. That's why you didn't report. And when I went to the state troopers, they said, you need to do that the day of. I didn't quite buy that. I don't quite. And if there's a cop out there, state trooper, we have a former state trooper in Yonkers who listens. I forget his name, but yeah, JR, the state troopers, when I went there the next day to the barracks, they said, too late. We need to do it like in the moment. Right. And
file one. You could go to your local police and make a report and say it happened on the highway and you had to get home and that was it. End of story.
Beautiful.
Maybe you could still do that.
Yeah. Cause you know what? I was misled by the state troopers. So I'll go to my local cops and say they screwed me over. So I'm here now. All right.
Yeah, you should try because it's worth it in the long run, I think.
I think so too. JR, thank you, buddy. Thank you for calling in. I love that. I love what generates the calls. I love this stuff. God, I love doing this show. You guys are the best. You guys are the absolute best. Let's go over to, David in the Bronx. Mamdani and police reform. Absolutely. We're talking about everything tonight. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. I did have a point of contention with people that say that about Mamdani's calls for police reform are totally baseless. When you're looking at a city agency that last year alone hit a record, it cost the city taxpayers $206 million in police misconduct lawsuits. And you're talking about close to $250 million doing nothing but settling lawsuits for people who've been beaten up, illegally surveilled, et cetera, by the police. So I think that, it's just one part and parcel of, the need for police reform. You definitely do have a need for it, irrespective of Mamdani as a political candidate. And one further point, in terms of recruiting. Hello?
Yes, right here.
Yeah, in terms of recruiting, there really are no qualifications to speak of that justify paying police a higher salary. Because, when you look at the police department as it now stands, I didn't know this until recently, you could have a felony record and still become a cop in New York City. Not a felony conviction, but a felony charge. You shouldn't have any.
But what about the hazard? What about the hazard pay? What about the, the fact that that these people are willing to, and by the way, first of all, I've never seen that, clearly in a statute that a cop can have a felony record. And that, what's the time frame? Well, then again, I guess it does kind of stand to reason. While it's surprising and I'll say shocking that that's the case, if that's the case, I guess there's a general thing, where, it's up to that's really surprising, David. Where'd that come from? Where'd you find that statute? I'm having a hard time formulating an opinion.
That comes from the police website itself. Like New York City has a database of qualifications for New York cops that want to be patrol officers.
Is there an asterisk on that? Are there qualifiers on that, like a type of felony or a time frame or a statute of limitations or something like that?
I'm assuming they go by a case-by-case basis, but it's not a felony conviction, but a felony charge. Right. Many people who are charged with felonies eventually plead down to misdemeanors.
Okay, and many people that are charged with felonies are found not guilty. So so now there's the window. There's the daylight there. Okay, so somebody with a felony charge, clearly, there's a lot of people like that. I'm a rip-roaring alcoholic who drove drunk for a bunch of years in Los Angeles, which we'll talk about plenty in the last hour as we talk about recovery on this show. But if I had been popped for that would have been a felony charge and a felony record, because I definitely would have been convicted, but I might have pled down, to your point. I might have been allowed to plead down to a misdemeanor. But it was never God's plan that I got pulled over for that. Good, bad, or indifferent. But anyway, David, thank you so much. That was a really smart call. Very interesting stuff. Very, very cool. Let's see. Okay. Pamela, Pamela on 3. Wait, who's there? Oh, I'm sorry. Line 4. Paul on line 4 in Staten Island.
Hey, good morning, TJ. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, pal?
I'm good. I'm working. I'm driving a truck, actually.
Oh, all respect.
I've been driving.
All respect.
I drive a Mack. Thank you, brother. I drive a Mack truck for a private sanitation company.
Okay.
Like 22 years now.
All right.
We have blowouts all the time.
Yep.
And you don't get the truck. A tow truck is not needed. First of all, tow costs the company $1,200.
Uh-huh.
What you're supposed to do is get on the phone with your supervisor, take the truck to the nearest place you could take it to, and wait for the tire guy to come and change the tire on site.
Wow. Okay, and I'll tell you this, Paul. Thank you. I love this. I'll tell you this, Paul. He pulled over on 684. He pulled over on like the triangle or the Y or whatever, right at the top of an exit ramp in Bedford. He could have gone right down the ramp into Bedford, where there's a big area that he could have pulled that mammoth thing and waited for a tire change.
That's exactly what he's supposed to do.
Boom.
So obviously the boss told him not to, and keep running.
Right?
I just got one more other thing about Zohan.
Go, baby, go. You're an expert on this. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, brother. Well, didn't he receive $13,000 for his campaign from Dubai?
Oh, yeah. Yes. Mamdani has received money from Dubai, I think from India, and a couple of other, but probably maybe Indonesia. Yes. That has come out.
Does that disqualify him from running?
I don't know if it disqualifies him from running, but it certainly puts his campaign in question. I don't know if it disqualifies him from running, but it might possibly be
I was
criminal.
Under the impression that I was under the impression that it's supposed to disqualify him totally. And if it doesn't, there are other powers at work keeping him running.
Yeah. No, without a doubt. Look, there's dark money here. There's Soros money. I'm thinking more and more that this Mamdani was plucked by Soros himself.
That's what I was thinking.
You know?
But, I mean, the people in our government are letting 2 months by.
I know.
They're not doing anything about it, and this is what's aggravating. I think we're done. What's his name said, we're doomed.
Well, you know what, Paul? You know what I say too, though? And I just mentioned recovery. I just mentioned, addiction and stuff. For an addict, for an alcoholic to get sober, they've got to hit rock bottom. And I really think that New York City probably needs to hit rock bottom. I think New York City needs to, and I mean, maybe the last rock bottom was 9/11. That was certainly a rock bottom for a century. I think we need to hit rock bottom again for people to hit the reset button and go, you know what? Leftism is not the way. De Blasio.
I don't think that'll sink. I still don't think it'll sink in, because we just went through De Blasio. And people were complaining, and now they're going for a straight-up terrorist.
Yep.
That can't even denounce Hamas.
I know.
And other actions by Hamas.
I know, buddy.
Plus, he stated that he wants to charge white neighborhoods higher taxes.
Yeah.
How could you get away with saying something like that and still be running?
You know why? A, bad math. There's that millions more Democrats in this city than Republicans. And apathy. There's only going to be like 26%, 22% of the voters even showing up, which is why somebody could steal it from him, because it's going to be so low turnout. If somehow there's a magical turnout, even Curtis could steal this. Hey, real quick, Paul, though, out there on Staten Island, there was a great moment about, maybe in the last week or 10 days. You know that artist, Scott Lobato?
Yes.
Yeah, he's beautiful. Did you see that video of him screaming at Mamdani, calling him an anti-Semite and calling him effing this and effing that at a restaurant?
He walked into it was a restaurant. Yeah, it was the Greek restaurant. I think it was.
Lobato's the best.
I was loving it.
There's
not more of that. That's the problem.
I know.
We need hundreds to show up
I know.
spewing venom at this guy.
I know. I love Scotty Lebedo. I love Staten Island. I love you guys out there. You're the best. Paul, thank you for calling in, Pally. But I tell you, the one weird thing about Staten Island, those turkeys. What the hell with the turkeys on Staten Island? That's weird. Paul, you're the best. Thank you, Pally. All right. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we got Pamela. It was a little tease. I said Pamela's name and I had to go to Paul. We got Pamela, Tony, and the Joaquin. We'll come back in a minute. It's another side of midnight. We're talking about all this awesome stuff. We got experts. We got trucking experts on another side of midnight with TJ McCormick here on the Red Apple Audio Network's 1-800-848-9222.
All night long. This is another side of midnight
with TJ McCormack.
77 WABC. It's another side of midnight.
Political humorist TJ McCormick.
Now to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC.
Here's TJ McCormack.
All right. This half hour brought to you by Anthony. Of course, I'm not going to say the name of the trucking company because I don't want to be murdered in my driveway. So anyway, yes, it's 49 minutes past the hour on the Red Apple Audio Network. It's another side of midnight. TJ McCormick, 1-800-848-9222. Next hour is recovery hour, and we're also going to have a little look at big celebrations. And I gotta say, I kind of agree with it, and it was done in the funniest, coolest way. His nibs. Her Majesty, George Santos, out of prison. Love it. We're going to go to the George Santos prison release party, which is raging right now. We're going to go check into that in the next hour. And then tomorrow night, by the way, tomorrow morning, Sunday morning, we're going to be continuing our creepy hour. We are joined again by Bishop James Long of the Old Catholic Church of America, which in and of itself is a bit quirky. Bishop James Long, we talk about a lot of stuff. Everything from possession to portals to hell. Portals to hell, where you can find yourself a handy-dandy viaduct straight to hell. We're going to talk about that tomorrow morning here on Another Side of Midnight. All right, we teased her name a moment ago. Let's get to Pamela in New Jersey. Pamela, you got your own story.
Oh, it's just strange that this should happen around the same time. 2 weeks ago, on a Saturday morning after your show, I decided to go to a very great supermarket we have, but it's always like really busy. So a lot of people go early. So I went before the sun came up on Saturday.
Gotcha.
Okay, you figure not too many people on the road.
Yep, easy.
I stop at a stop sign, a stoplight rather, and all of a sudden I hear this revving behind me, and I have this huge vehicle behind me, right up to my grill.
Right.
And you could tell he or she or it was trying to tell me to move, get out of the way, move. And I'm like, I'm not going through this red.
Come on.
So finally, it turns green. I make a left onto the main drag, and I'm figuring, I hope he's going on the main road, but I doubt it because, it's just like I could tell that he was really giving it to me. So I take my first right, and I'm hoping he goes straight. He doesn't.
Nope.
So I had to really think fast on my feet, and I took the first left because it was like, that old movie Duel?
Yep.
Spielberg's first movie?
Yep.
He was playing games with me. So luckily, as I took my left, I looked at my rearview mirror and I got the name of the truck.
Ooh.
And it was a garbage truck.
Okay.
And I know they're home based in the next town over. So he was probably, thank God he went straight and I went left.
Right.
And I was hoping when I went up again, I didn't meet up with him, but I didn't because, he was out for some fun.
Creepy.
So I figured I can't let this son of a bee get away with this. So I called my local police. And the dispatcher was very nice and said, if you can you drop in and do an incident report, in person? And I said, you know what? Yeah, I'll do it.
Good for you.
Like you say, like who wants to do it, But
right.
you do it because the next person he might kill.
Yes.
So, yeah. So I go to the police station and I have the number of the dispatcher, and I figure maybe he's a cop, maybe not. Sometimes dispatchers aren't. So I go up to the desk, and he goes, who is this person? This person doesn't exist.
What?
And I said, excuse me? I said, I have it right here on my phone that I called you guys. I said, he does exist, and here's his, I don't know, badge number or his dispatch number.
Yeah.
So it took him forever, and then finally he realized, he's not a cop. But he was a dispatcher, and I'm thinking, Jesus, it took you this long to figure out
right
at this hour? So anyway, this cop said, I told the story, and this cop tells me, are you sure you weren't just frightened because it was a truck?
I
said, first of all, my husband's a trucker. He's driven hazardous tankers. And I've been driving for decades, and there are, when there are trucks on the road, I am, very
Pamela,
much aware
we're not idiots, and every once in a while, you find yourself a little disappointed. You find yourself disappointed by waitresses. You find yourself disappointed by airline pilots. You find yourself disappointed by cops. We are definitely a back the blue bunch. We are definitely pro cop, and we love cops.
Oh, yeah.
But every once in a while, a cop will let you down.
Some great cops recently, but I've met, certain ones. And then it turns out later on, I found out that he didn't know, maybe there are new cops. There's a lot of new cops because a lot of cops quit.
Sure.
So I think he didn't know how to handle it. So he was like giving me an argument, and I said, well, listen, I'm afraid for other people with this guy, and I was polite.
Sure.
In control.
Yeah.
And then finally he said, well, there's nothing much we can do because all you have is the name of the trucking company. And I said, well, that's a lot, because they keep logbooks.
Sure.
And then you can call the company and tell them to reprimand who it was ever on the road that day. You might not be able to find the specific driver, but they can find out.
Yeah, I got to admit, Pamela, when I was standing there talking to this New York State trooper, and thank you so much for joining with that story. When I was standing there talking to this New York State trooper, I got the sense that this guy just didn't want to go through the hassle of taking a report. I thought, and I did kind of think, like, cops take reports. That's what, it's part of the deal. And
that's a big part of the job.
Well, when a concerned citizen comes in, and again, part of my rationale too was, hey, look, and I said to the cop, I said, look, trooper, officer, I said, here's the thing. I said, I want to be on the record in case somebody else had an incident attached to this same truck. I want to make sure that I'm on the record, and these people, there's somebody else that can be called about this. I said, if somebody else has it worse than me, from this tire blowout, I want to be another citizen that's on the record backing up what these people are talking about. Pamela, I got to go because I got just a couple of seconds. I want to get to Joe in Bayonne about the truck incident too. Joe on line 4. Joe, good morning. Welcome.
Did you save the mud flap for evidence?
You know what? I wish I did. It fell off the nose of my car as I was coming off the highway. As I slowed down, it let itself go and it went under my tire. It was in the middle of 684. Unfortunately, no, I did not get to save the mud flap, which would have been great.
So how does the guy know that you're not just making it up? Maybe
I know.
One of your daughters ran over a garbage pail or a bicycle or a child and damaged the car.
I know that's what anybody could say. I get you, Joe. It's true. Are you in the trucking business?
Maybe.
Maybe
he didn't invite you down.
Huh?
You're lucky he didn't invite you down to the office and take you in the back room and pipe you.
And pipe me. Oh, just like the taxi guy, right? You remember my story about the taxi? Yeah, I'll pipe you. Yeah, I tell you, Joe, look, it's a tough business. It's an interesting bunch of guys. and women, and look, I mean, the truth was the truth. And I guess I was just sort of calling, for two reasons. A, I thought maybe he'd help me out. And B, I didn't know if he knew that his guy got back on the highway with that lousy tire. That's bad, right, Joe? He shouldn't have been back on the highway with that bad tire spinning. Right?
Well, you're not going to flatbed a dump truck.
Not
you got to
flatbed.
call somebody over
Right.
there to replace the tire. Out there. He probably thought you were shaking him down.
Right, which is what Paul said. Paul from Staten Island said you're supposed to pull over and change that tire. This guy did not do that. And no doubt the thug that I was talking to on the phone gave that driver the directive to bring that back to the yard. Joe, thank you for calling in with your expertise.
Joe, with his expertise, the guy who locating asked me down to the office and piped me in the back. Thank you, Joe. All right. It's another side of midnight with me, TJ McCormick, on the Red Apple Audio Networks. 1-800-848-9222. Don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere.
It's another side of midnight. 77 WABC. This is another side of midnight
with TJ McCormack.
Now to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC.
Here's TJ McCormack.
Did everybody hear the Trump truth, the truth that social that he put out? Thank you, guys. I can't believe I said to the guys, I said, can we find some cool anthems to play for Santa? And these guys, I never got to, they gave me every form of a thumbs up and we got this. So So here's the quote, okay? Here is from President Trump. George Santos was somewhat of a rogue, okay? There are many rogues throughout our country that aren't forced to serve 7 years. I'm not going to do Trump the whole time. 7 years in prison. This is all a quote from President Trump. I started to think about George when the subject, and this is why I love Donald J. Trump. This really, truly, if I ever got to meet President Trump, this is a gift to me because this is what I would bring up to him, why I was so grateful. So he says, I started to think about George when the subject of Democrat Senator Richard Da Nang Dick Blumenthal came up again. I think it was last week, week before. Pam Bondi told Richard Blumenthal, shut your face. Don't you lecture me. It was Bondi, right? Who did that? Yeah. Don't you lecture me. You lied about your service. The people of Connecticut, just a few miles north of where I sit, you dopey New Englanders, you stupid, thick, pathetic, sad. You've got thousands of Democrats to choose from, and you choose to continue to send Richard Blumenthal, a lying, valor-stealing piece of garbage, back to the Senate for another 6 years of comfy life in the spotlight over and over and over again. You dopey, stupid, thick, vapid, empty suit, tragic voters. How anticlimactic was that? Voters. I ran out of words. Anyway, as everyone this is back to the president's quote. As everyone remembers, Da Nang Dick stated for almost 20 years that he was a proud Vietnam veteran, having endured the worst of war, watching the wounded and dead as he raced up the hills and down the valleys, blood streaming from his face. He was, quote, a great hero. He would leak to any and all, the president going on says, he would leak to any and all who would listen. And then it happened. He was found out. Back to the quote. He was a complete and total fraud, said President Trump. He never went to Vietnam, said President Trump. He never saw Vietnam. He never experienced the battles there. You dopey Connecticut voters keep sending this guy back to Washington. He never experienced the battles there or anywhere else. His war hero status and even minimal service in our military was totally and completely made up. This is far worse. This is why I love Donald J. Trump. This is far worse than what George Santos did. And at least Santos had the courage, conviction, and intelligence to, get this, always vote Republican. George has been in solitary confinement for long stretches of time and by all accounts has been horribly mistreated. Therefore, I, Donald J. Trump, just signed a commutation releasing George Santos from prison immediately. This is the best closing line. Good luck, George. Have a great life. Magnificent. Do you agree? Let me know what you think about the George Santos. Almost said Soros, God forbid. Tell me what you think about the George Santos commutation by President Trump, including that long narrative about throwing, once again, rightfully so, Dick Blumenthal. Thank God I forgot his name. Blumenthal under the bus where he belongs. 1-800-848-9222. 1-800-848-9222. We'll talk a little bit about George Santos, and then I'll tell you how I recently bumped into my alcoholism when we talk a little bit of recovery this hour. 1-800-848-9222. It's Another Side of Midnight with me, TJ McCormick, on Red Apple Audio Networks all around the world.
All night long. This is Another Side of Midnight
with TJ McCormick.
77 WABC. It's Another Side of Midnight.
Political humorist TJ McCormick.
Now, to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC.
Here's TJ McCormick.
Good morning. It's 25 minutes past the hour on Another Side of Midnight with TJ McCormick. That's me. And we are talking to the whole wide country on the Red Apple Audio Networks. And we broadcasting to you from right here in the middle of Midtown Manhattan. Middle of Midtown? And a little redundant? I don't know, but it's quite specific. And 1-800-848-9222. We're talking about my incident with a rogue dump truck and its mud flaps and messing up my car, my very white Volvo. And we're also talking about George Santos, his commutation from prison by President Trump, a move that there's a lot of wrongs. He's got the criminal charge. It wasn't just cute stuff. He was definitely doing, identity theft, I guess it was, or at least he was misrepresenting himself. There was certainly campaign finance crimes. Not cool. I mean, definitely, and I'm understating it. Absolutely more than not cool. But the president made a great point. Richard Blumenthal, an American senator, stolen valor, just an absolute fraud. His entire career is a fraud. So you know what? George Santos was going to be victimized in prison. George Santos was going to be harassed or worse in prison. He has learned the lesson of a lifetime. I have a funny feeling that George Santos is going to do some decent things going forward. He's certainly going to live his life. How about that closing line from President Trump? Releasing George Santos from prison immediately. Good luck, George. Have a great life. Woof! That man, that sound you hear is George Santos exhaling as he walks out those doors. God bless him. That's so scary. I cannot even imagine. All right, let's get to Pete in South Carolina. Pete, good morning.
Good morning. It's Pete from Staten Island.
Oh, Staten Island.
How are you today?
I'm good. Good morning, buddy. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good. I will set back, but your music just brought me up with the YMCA and all the ones with I'm Coming Back and everything. George is coming out, and that's great because that's what we need. And I'm out here, and I've got my corrected mic, and I was blasting away. My wife and I was dancing in the room. We were going to dance on the ceiling. We were going to do a Lionel Richie here.
There you go. Okay, what's your wife's name?
Renee.
Hey, Renee. Hello, Renee. Lovely Renee. Good morning. So, Pete, what's your thought on George Santos? That was the right thing to do, you think? Let him out?
I think so. I think a lot of people done much worse than that guy Blumenthal. I mean, faking that he was in Vietnam. That's an insult.
He's a disgrace.
I was there. I know what it is.
Were you there? Thank you for your service. Did you serve over there?
I was there for a short time because the war ended. I'm 70 years old.
Wow.
And it ended. I went in there like in April, and everything was cleared out by June.
Wow.
So I was there for a little time.
Good timing.
But it was a lot of my friends. It didn't work out too much for them because Agent Orange and stuff. But so far, I've been spared all that. But I have 9/11 injuries because I was there for quite a while.
Oh, boy.
But I'm doing okay.
Good.
I'm doing okay.
And you got Renee to look after you.
Oh, yeah. You know, she got sick, too, because she was working 3 blocks away.
Oof.
And, well, we're okay. She had 3 cancers so far.
Oh, my Lord.
And I had 2.
Oh, my gosh.
I got radiation, and it worked.
Okay.
It's
Boy,
very, very tough.
Pete, you sound like you're broadcasting from Mars. You sound like
I got my corrected mic. I'm going to put it down. I mean, it's the corrected the reverb in the 70s was a big thing, and the echo.
I love that. Listen to you with your Pete flair. Well, listen, Pete, thanks so much for calling, and thank you, Renee, for being there and looking after each other, and thanks for listening to the show and being so loyal. I'm so grateful. It's 30 minutes past the hour on another side of midnight. Joaquin in PA. Joaquin, good morning, brother.
Good morning, TJ.
Hi, pal.
I will be your knight in shining armor coming to your emotional rescue.
Hey. I will be yours. I will be yours, all yours.
You know what? That was a great song. When I first heard it, I hated it, but it grew on me to become one of my favorites.
A lot of people, same thing. First time they heard it, they're like, what the hell is this? But it does grow on you.
Oh, yeah. No, it became one of my favorites. You know something? Poor old Santos, he was he was a political prosecution, you know, and the weak Republicans, they had to devour their own.
Damn
when we had a majority in Congress.
Yep.
Okay. So, you know, and Trump is right. There's so many people that have done so much worse than him, you know, and I remember hearing callers on that station that were in his district and said that he actually was doing a great job for them. But
he was voting the right way. He was voting the right way every damn time, just like Trump mentions. And I tell you what, Joaquin, you're right, man. And shame on me for not actually hitting that meat and potatoes right there about the George Santos piece that even went past my eyes this morning. Is that, the dopey Republicans at the time who wanted to, again, it was the same mindset that in the UK when they got rid of Boris Johnson and capitulated to the Labour Party and let a great leader like Boris Johnson go, and ended up just canning the whole thing. And, this is what happens when you capitulate. And similarly, these dopey Republicans who were so afraid of being criticized and being insisted on getting rid of this guy. Cause you know what? Listen, there's sometimes, Joaquin, you take the high road, another time say, you know what? The high road, we know it's there. We're going to stay right here for a minute.
Right. Hey, you need to have Matt Blaze put in some bullwhips behind the RuPaul. You got to work it, girl. But I really want to comment on you're being bit by a gator. We used to call them gators, alligators, road alligators.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and I've driven bigger trucks than that. I used to drive the triaxle dump trailers, and we had overweight permits, and the heaviest load I pulled was like 140,000 pounds gross. Okay.
Jeez, God.
And your assessment of a possible driveway early morning fantasy, that's not without the realm of possibility, because back in the day, a lot of those businesses were run by people who were connected.
Sure.
But anyway, as far as that tire goes, if you're loaded, and when you have a blowout, on a truck that's heavy, I pulled off the highway one time and came to a stop, and next thing I know, it sounds like a shotgun blast.
Wow.
When you got that much weight on.
Wow.
But if the truck is loaded, yes, you're going to have to pull over at some point and have the tire changed. You could limp it down the road to get to where you have to go.
Right.
But if you got that much weight, I watched the guy going down the Jersey Turnpike with a container that blew one tire, and if you keep running with heavy weight, the next tire gets hot.
Right.
And then I watched another tire blow, and I actually watched them blow out all four tires on one side.
Oh my God!
He was hammering it.
And I'm an idiot, Joaquin. What the hell do I know? I'm a little goofy guy talking on the radio. But I could figure out that there is something that's going to happen severely wrong to the weight distribution and just the mechanics of that truck with one less tire.
All right, but there's a but to it.
Okay.
If the truck is empty or very light,
right,
you can run it with that blown tire. And the pieces are going to chew off of it, whatever else, and you'll be fine. No problem. Right. And because let's face it, it also depends on who you work for, what their policy is that, and generally speaking, if the truck is empty, you might as well run it.
Right.
Those pieces are really not going to do too much damage to anyone else anyway. Mm-hmm. And as far as, people, when I worked with the dump trailers, people sometimes would just call up and say they had damage to their car, by something, and darn well it wasn't you. But
right.
It was one of those things that the boss already knew and said that these things are going to happen. There's going to be people that accuse you, just to try and get an insurance claim out of the trucking company.
Right. Yeah. 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 It was frustrating that I couldn't get the mud flap.
Now, And also, too, as far as Matt is concerned with his call about the cops with felonies, that was Matt. That wasn't David. Anyway, you know, a lot of the blue cities, what they've done is they've made being a police officer almost impossible. They've taken away qualified immunity, and you can get prosecuted for what you do. Okay, so they're clearing out the house of, you know, conscientious police officers. And what are they doing? They're opening the door for thugs. And, yes, they are allowing cops with felonies in there. And if you watch, there was a video of some poor guy, a black kid that got beaten to death by 4 or 5 cops somewhere. And all these cops, actually, most of them were former criminals.
Right.
And this is basically a communist tactic of destroying, you know, in order to take things over, they got to destroy the society.
Yikes.
And so he's really not, he wasn't that far off on that one.
Yeah, and we're seeing it in real time. Joaquin, you're the best, buddy. Thank you, man. It wouldn't be a Saturday morning without you. Appreciate you being there. Let's get over to Eddie in Rockland. Eddie, good morning.
Hey, good morning, TJ. How are you?
I'm well, thanks. What's up, pal?
All right.
You're out there.
Your Charlie Sheen yeah, I'm out here.
Good.
The Charlie Sheen interview the other week was great. I enjoyed it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going to go see him Sunday night. I'm going to go see him up at the Schubert Theater in New Haven. Everybody can go to the Schubert Theater website in New Haven. If anybody wants to go see Charlie Sheen in conversation, I'll be up there. And if Eddie just keeps walking north, I think you could meet me in New Haven, on your morning walk.
The Schubert, yeah.
Yeah, the Schubert, right in the middle of New Haven. I just went past it last week, as a matter of fact. But yeah, so I'm going to be going up there and seeing Charlie's conversation. So it should be interesting. But thank you for that. What's your windshield wiper story?
Well, I got hit with something in the car, hits the windshield wipers, and it throws them off. So I had to get new windshield wipers. Anyway, you go in, you get your windshield wiper, $40.
Right.
I go home, I wait a couple of days, I put it on. Yeah. There's only one in the box.
Oh, jeez.
So I'm like, I go back to AutoZone.
I
say, hey, buddy, I hate to do this, but there was only one in the box.
Yeah.
Guess what?
Yeah.
He goes, they come one in the box, you idiot. You got to get 2. That doesn't make sense to me.
Right. Why would you sell one?
Funny.
Why would you sell one? It's like selling one shoe.
That's right.
Or a sock.
So I thought that was pretty funny.
That is pretty funny.
Anyway, all those people out there that need windshield wipers, get 2 next time.
Yeah, just buy 2. That's it. Take it from the sober guys. Buy 2. Get 2, just like we used to do a double.
It's step 12 today, so I'm going to have a good day.
Oh, there you go, baby. God bless. Love you, Eddie. Hang in there.
All right. Take it easy, pal.
Take, pal. Bye-bye. Thank you. That's Eddie. Yeah, we always connect on these Saturday mornings. We talk a little bit of recovery at some point. And this morning, if I get a chance, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I kind of discovered is another little wrinkle in my recovery. 1-800-848-9222. We're talking about George Santos, walked out of prison, the scam artist, George Scamtos. Ooh, did anybody ever call him that? Did I just make that up on my own? Is out. President Trump commuted his sentence. 7 years, that guy. It's like sending me to jail. The same thing. Me, him. Meanwhile, Blumenthal, who lies about, stolen valor, zippity-doo-dah in and out of Washington on our dime. Oh, I hate that guy so much. You dopey Connecticut voters. You stupid, thick, dummy Democrats in Connecticut. Stop sending this guy to the Senate just once. Primary this guy and get rid of him. Come on. You guys are better than that. Connecticut, you're better than that. You know what? That should be what it is. Whoever wants to primary Blumenthal, make that your campaign slogan. Slogan? Whew, we are getting there. We are getting close to 5. Make that your campaign slogan. We can do better than Blumenthal. Better than Blumenthal. That's it. We can do better than, or just better than Blumenthal. Boom. All right. Let's see. Steve on the island. Steve, got a Santos comment? Line 5.
Jay, how are you?
I'm well. Good morning. Hi, Steve.
Well, number one, I just heard that story with the windshield wipers.
Yeah.
I know they used to sell them in a set of 2. I never heard of this thing about they sell them in 1.
Yeah,
Maybe this is something they're doing to save money or something.
Who the hell knows? None of it makes sense anymore.
Exactly.
Have you seen the size of Malomars? They're tiny these days. Everything's gone haywire.
Well, I hate to put a damper on the Santos story, but I just want to remind you about one of the little incidents he was involved with. Do you remember the incident with the disabled vet?
Oof. All right. I mean, I knew one of these was going to come. I mean, and I know. But go ahead. Yes, you're right. You're right to bring this up. Go ahead. Refresh everybody. Oh, yeah? Nope. Did we lose him? Oh, sorry. Okay, Steve. Sorry, Steve. Something happened with, all right, that was weird. Let's see if we can get, we lost Steve, but maybe we can get, Bob, on line 1. Bob, good morning.
Good morning, Bob from Northport, you want?
Yes. Hello. Good morning. Hi, Bob from Northport. Good morning.
Okay. I was calling about the truck incident, but first let me tell you something. The reason they sell you one wiper blade is a lot of cars, the left and the right blade are 2 different sizes. A lot of times they put the larger blade on the driver's side and the smaller one on the passenger side. So that's why they sell one in a box.
You know what, Bob? You are correct. That is the situation with my very white Volvo. That is the situation with my car. Yes, you're right. So, and a third blade is even smaller if you have an SUV on the back window.
Right, on the rear.
That's tiny.
Now, as far as that truck goes, is the reason why that guy did everything he did. First of all, you said he pulled up to the top of the hill. He got off at the ramp and got up to the top of the hill.
He stopped at the top of the off ramp. Yes, that's where he stopped, I guess, to initially gather himself. Yes.
Okay, so when you drive a heavy-duty truck like that or whatever, there's what they call a pre-trip inspection, and that guy is supposed to walk around the truck and make sure everything's okay.
Okay.
If it's not, and you get in an accident or any kind of incident as you do, if someone comes around like the DOT and inspects the truck, even though he's got a flat tire and you can change the tire or whatever, that guy's going to look at the trucks. If the brakes are adjusted, the rest of the tires and everything.
Right.
And the rear tires on those trucks are what they call recaps.
Okay.
They'll take an old tire and they put a new rubber on it or whatever, and that's what flies off. But he pulled to the top of the hill because, and the other guy was talking about Jersey Turnpike especially, there's tow guys there that spend big money to be the exclusive guy to tow a vehicle off of there.
Right.
And it costs a lot of money. So that's why he went off the main highway and got up onto the exit ramp there or whatever, because he could have one of his guys tow it away, for a lot less money.
Right.
So, and the other thing is to pull out of there because if a DOT inspection came or whatever, because that truck was just involved in some kind of accident, there could have been thousands and thousands of dollars worth of fines.
Yeah.
Because they're going to look at the rest of the truck, the rest of the tires, the brake adjustment stuff. So that's my input because this is what I do. So
clearly it's what you do. Bob, thank you for the expert commentary. Thank you, pal. 1-800-848-9222. And let's see, as we roll on, let's go to Bill in Fairfield. Bill, good morning.
Good morning. I got a Blumenthal story one time about, 4 years ago, we were at the Bethlehem Fair.
Okay.
And I had watched my restaurateur buddy follow all the steps. We were all mandated to take our shots and get a mask and have our mask.
Those good old days.
Yeah, 6 feet. There was arrows in the grocery store.
God.
And you were a bad machine if you went the wrong way in the grocery store.
Yes.
So we finally, they allow us to go to the Bethlehem Fair. And we all were suffered at the time. And I see Senator Blumenthal with his mask off, laughing it up with his security force. And at that moment, I just lost all respect. Never mind the valor issue, that the stolen valor issue.
Right.
But at that moment,
yeah,
we're already embarrassed of our contingent anyway.
Sure.
We've got, John Wayne Gacy female up there with the purple hair, and it's so upsetting to be a Connecticut resident lately. But that was my final straw with Blumenthal.
Yeah, and clearly, I mean, look, the guy is just reprehensible, and I just don't understand your fellow nutmeggers. I just don't understand it. Why? I mean, Connecticut is a I don't relate to Connecticut being so liberal. It's weird. I guess it's Bridgeport, Hartford, and what? New Haven, I guess, are what puts these Democrats in office, because and Stamford maybe, but I'm not even. I mean, I would imagine that you got
Bridgeport too.
Yeah, no, I said Bridgeport. Yeah, I'm thinking, but I would think the rest of the state is pretty conservative, because it just strikes me as a conservative place. But I don't know, maybe I'm just fooling myself.
No, it's such a hypocrisy. I mean, there's right and wrong, and you look at most issues coming out of Connecticut, and you're like, wait a minute, that's wrong.
Yeah.
And everybody goes, no, that's right. But you know what? I'll give Governor Lamont credit.
Yeah.
Because he kind of, you get to that point where you're like, oh my God, these people are nuts.
Yeah.
And then Governor Lamont does the grandfather or fatherly thing and does the right thing. And then you're like, well,
yes, he does have a track record. He does. A lot of times when it comes to New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, he's the adult in the room.
Yeah, you got to kind of give him credit for holding it, in that lane.
Yeah.
But as far as the rest of them, man, I'm 60. I'll be 65 in a couple of weeks, and it blows my mind to see the hypocrisy. And when he was walking around laughing it up while we're all suffering.
Yep.
And that was the final straw.
They're awful.
With me.
Bill, thanks for calling in.
I love Connecticut.
Yes, hey, it's a beautiful state. I live right near Danbury. I love it. It's, great restaurants, great state. I'm going to New Haven on Sunday night to see Charlie Sheen. So Connecticut's a great, gorgeous state. All right, we got to take a break. We'll take a quick 10 minutes of the hour break, and we come back. We'll touch very quickly a little bit on the recovery bit. We can always carry it over to tomorrow morning. 1-800-848-9222. It's another side of midnight with me, TJ, on the Red Apple Audio Network.
All night long, this is another side of midnight
with TJ McCormack.
77 WABC. It's another side of midnight.
Political humorist TJ McCormack.
Now to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC.
Here's TJ McCormack.
We've been doing that, no stupid questions, no dumb questions, whatever we call it. No stupid questions. We've been doing the no stupid questions. And, it's kind of like, and I was asking, where's all the dead animals? How come there's no fish, no birds falling from the sky? Well, there was a story. This isn't the awful story I was looking for, but this one did catch my eye in the Post. That a flying fish. You read about this actually happens more in the news that I've read than a bird falling out of the sky. Figure this one out. A Canadian, doesn't say man or woman, received an unpleasant shock while on a routine drive home last month when a massive fish fell out of the sky and smashed her windshield. Marie Ahlstrom of Turtle Lake, Saskatchewan, God, Canada's weird, was driving home on September when a mysterious object, and she said, oh, I don't know if it was wildlife or an act of God or an act of fear, but something dropped that fish and it just scared the heck out of me. She told the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation in a very, very Canadian accent, like I just did perfectly. Wildlife experts said, no kidding, likely an errant osprey probably dropped it from its beak. I have read more stories about fish falling out of birds' beaks, like especially down in Florida. Everything happens in Florida. Than I have heard of dead birds falling out of the sky. I still don't have, I know last week Joaquin told us how animals go to their little quiet spot to die. I get that. They know they're going to die, and so they go under the bushes and the shrubs. I get it. Animals die, because I was asking, where's all the dead animals? How come we don't see dead animals everywhere? I get it. We have the scavenger animals. I get it. Buzzards and whatnot, and, raccoons and crows. I get it. But how come I have never in 57 years of life, with the thousands of birds above my head every square foot I traverse, I have never once seen a bird fall dead. I've seen humans trip and fall. I've seen humans have an incident and fall and die. I have never seen a bird. I've never seen a deer keel over. Anybody ever seen an animal just stop and keel over? I know it happens to the horses in Central Park. I know that. Big controversy. All right, let's rip through this. Dr. Anthony in Queens. Good morning, sir.
And good morning. And who's your favorite fan?
You, sir, and your stunning brunette wife. What is her name again? Melissa. I love a brunette. I got to tell you, especially.
But she cut out on you tonight. She couldn't make it. She went straight to bed.
All right. Well, there's always Sunday morning.
Oh, yeah. Anyway,
yes.
We got to play a little bit more Elvis on your show.
Yes. Tomorrow we'll play some Elvis.
All right. Next.
Yes.
Curtis has been my friend for over 30 years.
Wow.
The first time I met him, I had him over to my school. He was principal for a day, and he did a super job.
Oh, nice.
I looked into his eyes. I knew this is an honest guy. We walked around the neighborhood of Astoria, Ditmore's area. We brought him into Bon Appetit, and they named a sandwich after him.
Nice.
Yeah, the Curtis sandwich. They have a lot of bologna in that sandwich.
Well played.
Either way, I need you to reach out to him because he's not picking up my calls, and this is strange because he usually does, but he's got some sort of wall around him. He needs to step up his game. He needs to go into areas that don't know Curtis or don't know what he stands for. Yeah. I'm in the 12th District, Senate District. 12th area.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know Curtis. They're going to vote for Mondani.
Right.
This is AOC's area. So they're going to vote for him. This is Senator Janaris' area. They're going to vote for Mondani.
Right.
Very ultra-liberal area. He's got to step up his game. Stay away from Staten Island. They're going to vote for him.
They're going to vote. Yeah, it's about the best use of his time. He doesn't need to go to Staten Island anymore. They're going to vote for him. They're going to carry him.
But anyway, he's not picking up my phone call, so maybe you could reach out to him and tell him from you and from me.
Yeah.
He's got to step up their game. He's got to go into areas that they don't know him. Stay away from College Point. Stay away from Whitestone. Those areas are going to vote heavy.
Right. They're gonna turn out for him huge and carry him. No, they definitely. You're right. You're right, Dr. Anthony. You're right. He's got to use his time efficiently and effectively. And make sure you tune in tomorrow morning. We will definitely have some Elvis cooking. And tell Melissa I said good morning, Melissa. I really am a sucker for brunettes. I don't know. Okay. Anyway. All right. E. Frank, you get to close us out. We got like less than 60 seconds here, Pally.
All right, TJ, I'm very good friends with Curtis. I shook his hand in the Astoria and Manor. He came to my 114th Precinct Community Council. Okay. But George Santos, maybe he might have done something good in his life. And Donald Trump, as a humanitarian, decided that he was suffering too much.
Yeah.
He falls under his presidency, because I never received a pardon from Andrew Cuomo or Kathy Hochul for harassing a cop under the Patriot Act,
Jeez.
So, it falls under our criteria.
E. Frank, it had to be quick, but you made a great comment and you put the cherry on top of this show. Thank you so much, E. Frank. Call back tomorrow morning. We'll say hi a little bit longer. Everyone, thank you for a great show. I had a funny feeling this was going to be a great one. And sure enough, my thanks to Tony and Bill. You guys, awesome. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow morning on Another Side of Midnight. Till then, I wish you all the luck in the world.
It's Another Side of Midnight. 77 WABC.
If you're looking to create, grow, and sustain your wealth, download and subscribe to the Pain Points of Wealth podcast at BeBullish.com with Bob, Ryan, and Chris Payne. It's your podcast for market insights, money tips, and real talk on the economy.
Download and subscribe
at BeBullish.com.